Okay, so we'll get started again. The playlist is playlist number 14. The first song is You. Oh. So again, playlist number 14. The playlist, the first song is You, and let's get started at a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and you can press your buttons. And let's get started this morning in child's pose. So you can start with your knees a little spread apart. You can also start with something underneath your knees, like a blanket for a little bit more cushioning. It'll feel nicer. And then just start to fold yourself over the legs and know that, there's going to be some sensation around the hips. So that's fine. You can move around until it feels comfortable, or you can just drop in and settle and listen to the noise that your hips are making this morning. So if your forehead doesn't come right to the mat, you can cross your arms and rest your forehead on your arms. And as you start to feel yourself settle down, feel the rising and falling of the belly and the breath in the belly and the back. Island playlist number 14, about 2/3 of the way through the first song. So as we settle into our child's pose here, feeling the breath coming into the back side of the body, feeling it meandering around the sides of the body. Feeling your shoulders getting heavier, dropping to the floor. And then just you can keep your hands in the head where they are and start to wiggle your hips a little side to side, or you can take your arms forward. And as you kind of swing from side to side a little bit, you can use your arms to help with that. Now, if that bothers your knees, you may want to not do that, but just notice. You may want to come to the edge on the right and stay for an extra breath, really feeling the boundary of the pose. And then switch to the second side too. Checking out the boundaries. And what's lying at the edge of those boundaries, the sensation there that's stopping us from moving on farther. All right, coming back through center, now just start to drop the tailbone down towards the floor. And notice as the tailbone starts to move down, that drawing down the sacrum, and does it draw up through the back intercostal muscles here. The lat muscle, up and down. And then we're going to start to, on our next inhale, we'll start to make our way up into tabletop position. And set up your hands so that your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. Just start to rock a little forward and back, start to wake up the sensations through your hands. And you can do some nice big circles around the wrists. Switch directions. Beautiful. And then just come back, sit on your heels for a moment, slide the hands back, bring them together, and stretch them out. We're going to spin the palms, then bring the palms together, one hand on top of the other, just stretch out the wrist one last time. So, and then reach forward, press the palms together, and then reach in. One more time. Beautiful. And then take the bottom arm, bring it on top, reach, stretch. Reach and stretch last time. Beautiful. And then release, we'll stretch out. And take the right arm down, reaching the left arm up and over. If you'd like here, if it feels okay in the knees, you can start to drop the left hip down towards the floor. Really reaching that left arm up and over. One last breath here, really lengthening to the back side of the body. And then inhale, rolling yourself back up, both arms lift. And we'll switch to the second time, reaching the left arm, the left arm down, the right arm up and over. And maybe start to roll the right hip down towards the floor. Notice the breath here. Notice that as you take a big deep breath, it makes the pose feel more sensational. Excellent. Inhale all the way back up. And just a little shoulder circle. Come into tabletop position. We'll start to slide off my socks. So if you haven't got your socks off yet, now's a good time. And if you've already got your socks off, you can start in some cat and cow. And as you're sliding through the spine, are there any areas that feel a little bit, creaky this morning? They like to stick together. If that's the case, just, move in ways that you think might break up those cleats. Excellent. And then we're going to come back into a neutral spine. I'll take off my shirt so it's a little easier to see. So neutral spine, the hips and the ribs draw towards each other, the heart starts to melt, the belly is in. We're going to take our right leg and stretch it out. And the heel and the hip are pretty much lined up, and notice as the heel lifts up a little bit, the belly wants to drop down. We want to stop that by drawing the hips and ribs towards each other, even if that means that the leg comes down a little bit. That's okay. Melt the heart again. Hold here, reaching that sole of the foot back away from the crown of the head. And then let's just spin that right hip, the right toe out so the hip opens up to the right. As we exhale, we'll spin that hip back down towards the floor. Let's do that a few times. Inhale, open up the hip. Exhale, spin the hip back down. Let's do 3 more. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Excellent. Now let's draw that knee in towards the nose. Round it. Inhale, stretch out. And if you want to add the left arm here, you can. Exhale. And inhale. 3. 4. And 5. Beautiful. Let's take the arm out to the side. And then spin the toes out to the side and see if we can reach the arm and leg away from each other. Maybe touch the hand and foot down. Inhale, lift it up. We'll just do that 2 more times if you can. Exhale, down and up. And last one. Beautiful. Let's take the arm forward again and reach the leg back. We're going to take the hand back down towards the floor. Just take that right leg all the way over to the left as far as it'll go. Plant it to the floor. And then start to spin yourself to look at it. Excellent. One last breath here. Nice big stretch through the whole right side. Then we're going to slide the leg back as we kickstand the left leg behind us and take that right arm up. Here we can take the top arm over the head, stretch from fingers to toes. As we inhale, we can start to lift arm and leg up. Exhale, reach the arm and leg over the head. Not the leg, you know. Inhale. 3. And 4. Excellent, last one. Beautiful, and then up. Where you can stay or you can bend that knee and grab hold of the foot. Draw the heel in first, reaching the knee away. Elbow stays bent to begin, and then start to roll the elbow. So the elbow's lined up with the knee. So it's not up towards the sky, but back towards the wall behind you, and then press the foot away, and you'll get a really nice stretch to that shoulder. You can look up here, or you can look down depending on how it feels. And you're looking for a good sensation. Beautiful. Let's do one last big breath here. On your next inhale, just start to release the leg. Release the arm and stretch it. Slowly bringing that right hand back down. Re-kickstanding the left leg back behind you. And then round in. So as the knee comes in, maybe the left knee lifts off the floor. And then stretch the right leg back. So now everybody up into plank pose. And then stretch yourself back to downward facing dog. Inhale forward into plank pose, melt the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Then back down. One last time. As we come forward now, let's come all the way down to the floor. So you, of course, your knees can bend, roll yourself forward, bend the elbows back. Tops the feet flat, inch your hips back, get a little space in the waist, in the low back, and then plant the feet down as the tailbone reaches towards the heels. Reach yourself up into a little baby cobra. Exhale, roll down, slide the arms out. And then make the cobra a little bit more luxurious as you roll up and down a few times. Slide the hands back, press hands and knees into the floor. And we're back up and into tabletop position. Okay, so from here, we're going to take that left leg and we're going to stretch it out. And then the sole of the foot and the crown of the head reach away from one another. Heart melts down towards the floor. Hips, ribs come towards each other. Feel how you can pull the hips and ribs and really activate the entire core. From here, keeping that right buttocks tucking under, lift the left hip out to the left. The toes will also splay out. Inhale, slide that leg back in and down. Inhale, up and open. Exhale, back down. 3. 4. And this is our last one. We lift the hip up. And then we bring that inner thigh back up towards the sky. Flat back. Round in, nose to knee. Inhale, stretch that leg out. If you want to add the right arm, you can. Exhale, elbow and knee coming towards each other. Squeeze. Inhale, reach up and away. 3. 4. And 5. Okay, so if you don't have your hand up, you may want to add it now as we take that right arm out to the right. Lengthen through the back of the head, hips and ribs coming towards each other. And then reach that left leg out to the left, reaching it away from the right hand. You can stay like that, or you can tap it down and lift it up. 2 more. Exhale. And inhale, keep melting the heart. Exhale and inhale. Good stuff. Let's take that hand back. And we'll take that left leg, we'll plant it all the way over towards the outside of the right leg, as far over as it can go. And then just start to spin yourself. Big side stretch here. And here, if you're not happy with the sensation you're getting, move that foot around a little bit until you move into somewhere in the left side that feels really good. Excellent. All right, so we're going to come back forward. We're going to kickstand that right leg and take that left arm up towards the sky. Let's take that arm over the head, stretch. Inhale, arm and leg come up into Ardha Chandrasana. Exhale, stretch, half moon pose. Arm and leg come down, inhale, we reach up. 3, 4, and last one. From here, you can stay or you can bend that knee, taking the hand back behind you. Elbow bends back behind you as well, so the shoulders in the shoulder girdle. Draw the heel in, nice good stretch for the quad. Reach that knee away a little bit. Or stretch the foot away and get a nice shoulder stretch looking up or down, depending on how it feels in the neck. Beautiful. All right, so we slowly let go. Reach. Slowly the hand comes back down towards the floor. Press down, lift that right knee up. And then sweep it back, plank pose. Downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. One last time coming through plank. And this time we will lower all the way down. Here, looping the shoulders, making your way up into a little cobra again for a moment. Feeling the tailbone really reaching back, feeling the heart reaching away from the heels, belly in a lot. And then exhale, come back down again. We'll slide the arms out. And we'll luxuriate through a couple of back bends. Let the head come down. Don't just feel rolling up and down. Notice what's going on as you roll through the spine here. Stay with the body, not just the movement. One last time. I could do an entire class just rolling up and down my spine. I'm sure we do a tremendous amount of work for our bodies. Bring the hands back, press hands and knees into the floor, lift up, and we're back into tabletop position. Let's just round through the hips a little bit more. 1, 2, it's nice for the wrist too. 3, switch directions. 2, and 3. Excellent. Walk your hands back to the right underneath your shoulders. Curl the toes under. Press down through the hands, but melt the heart and press out through the heels to lift the knees off the floor ever so slightly. Hold, sides of the waist, tug in. And you can stay just like this. If you want a little bit more core work, we're going to take our right leg back and then our left leg back. Then our right knee is going to come forward and then our left knee is going to come forward. Left knee back, right knee back. Melt the heart. Left knee forward, right knee forward. Beautiful. Press the hands down. Draw the belly back, lengthen. Feel the sides of the waist lengthening. Feel the upper arms lengthening. Start to straighten the legs. Take a nice big inhale here, reaching the heart towards the fingers and the tailbone away from the fingers. And then start to walk your feet forward towards the front of the mat, coming into your first forward fold of the day. I think. Next one, and just allow the body to drop here. These can be a little bend. Try to get the belly to the thighs, let the back of the neck be long. And then start to roll through the body, through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Reach the arms up over the head, palms together, look up. Exhale, fold. Hands to the shins, lengthen flat back. Exhale, hands to the floor, make your way through a vinyasa. Three breaths in your downward dog. Checking with your hands, feeling that length. Checking with your feet, letting the back of the neck relax. Just taking one last breath to just feel the breath moving through this body in this shape. And then heels lift up, inhale, exhale, bend the knees, make your way back to the front. Fold. Press down to the mat, let's make our way up. Inhale, palms together. Exhale, hands slide down to the heart. Heart up into the hands, inhale. Keep the heart lifted, exhale. Again, same thing, inhale up. Exhale, fold forward. Hands to shins, lengthen. Hands to the mat, make your way through a vinyasa, whatever that means to you. And let's meet in downward facing dog. So let's press down to the left leg. We'll start to lift our right leg up. Again here, open that right hip up to the right. Exhale, spin it back down. 3 more, 4 more. 3. Keep pressing the hands down and forward. 4. And that left hip hugging in. 5, beautiful. Bend that right knee, press it over to the left. Don't dump the weight into your shoulder, breathe. And then as we inhale, we're gonna spin that inner thigh back forward, come forward into hanging plank. Hold, 1, 2, 3. Lift that leg all the way back up. And then we'll take that foot all the way over to the outside of the right leg, or right hand, drop the left knee to the mat. From that back knee, lengthen the heart up and away as you hug that right leg back towards the shoulder. Stretch the front leg straight. Inhale, come back forward. Do that a few times. Exhale and inhale. 3. And forward, 4, and forward. Last time. Beautiful, plant the hands, lift that back knee off the floor, lengthen the crown of the head forward, maybe take your right arm and reach it forward. Pull or feel that right thigh hugging back towards the midline, and then both hips hugging towards each other as the crown of the head and the heel reach away, back heel. Beautiful, let's do one last side stretch here, just walking your hands over towards the left. Try not to change the legs at all. Beautiful, walk yourself back, plant both hands, step back, downward facing dog. Breathe. As you press down through the floor, lengthen the crown of the head forward. We'll come through a vinyasa just for a little break through the arms. So come down to the mat. Soften the feet to the floor. Let's slide our hands back behind us and just rest them on our bums. Feel your upper arms lifting up so the shoulders are really in the shoulder girdle here. And then as you feel your hands pressing these sacrum down and then towards the heels, feel your heart reach forward and away. Make this comfortable through the side waist, through the mid back, through the low back. Beautiful. Exhale, come back down again here. We're going to take the arms wide and just roll ourselves a few times through this nice little spin. Beautiful. Last time. Slide the hands back, press hands and toes into the floor if that works for you. Lengthen, lift the knees off the floor, belly inside, waist in. Take a nice big inhale. And as you exhale, push the floor away from you. Ha! Downward facing dog, nice work. Walk your feet back together. From your hands, reach up and back through your hips. We're going to take our left leg, lift it up. As we inhale, we're going to spin that left hip out to the left. Exhale, inner thigh spins back so that the hips are neutral. 4 more like that. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Here's our last one. We stay open here. And then we press that foot over to the right. Try not to dump the weight into our right shoulder. Breathe. Beautiful. We're going to spin that inner thigh back up, come forward, hanging plank. Melt the heart here. Reach out from heel through head. Inhale, stretch that leg all the way back up. And then we'll take it forward towards the outside of that left hand, dropping the right knee to the mat, and like the heart forward. Back and forth here a few times. Beautiful. And then coming forward, we'll stay here for a moment, hugging that left knee into the shoulder. You can start to inch that left arm forward. You can take the back knee off the mat. So many different ways of creating more sensation. And then you can start to walk your hands over towards the right for a little side stretch. Excellent. Coming back through center now. We're going to take that back leg and bring it forward to the outside of the right hand. And here we are in a pretty deep squat, which if you want to sink into a low squat here, you can. No, we're going to have to come back up. Right. So if low squats don't work, keep your knees at a right angle and just stick your butt back. So if you're in a low squat here, I invite you to lengthen the crown of the head up and lift your hips up about 2 inches. Pull the shins back. Press into the 4 corners of each foot. A little higher, 2 more inches. Woo! Keep going. A little more. Pull the shins back more. Lift your hips now up, away from your thighs. Thighs active like you're skiing. Feel those skiing muscles activate. If you want, you can pretend you got poles here. And then keep pressing down through the feet as you lift yourself up. Lift the arms up, slide the feet together. Exhale, hands to your heart. Heart up into the hands as you inhale. Keep the heart lifted and release your hands. Beautiful. And just start to inch your feet together, toes together, heels together. Bend your knees. We're going to sweep ourselves into Uttanasana. So if you were here yesterday, I think we were or the day before when we were doing all that work about the inner, upper outer arms hugging towards each other and up. Feeling the shoulders really comfortable on the shoulder girdle, lots of space in the neck. And then just keep sinking, reaching the tailbone away from the fingers. Beautiful. One last breath up here. Exhale, fold forward. Hands to the shins, lengthen. Hands to the floor, make your way through a vinyasa. If you're tired of vinyasa, then of course just come into downward facing dog. We're gonna take our right leg forward. Inhale, we're gonna sweep ourselves up into a high lunge. And then try here to level your hips off so that right hip is probably a little forward. Can you drop back, maybe bend the back knee to help that situation a little bit more? Once the hips are in position hugging towards each other, start to bend the front knee and stretch the back heel farther back, and that's where you're gonna get some more interesting work out of this pose. Lift your heart up and away from your hips. Beautiful. We're going to take both hands back down towards the floor. Flip that back heel coming into warrior. 1. Make sure there's space between the legs. Keep that front knee bent. Wrap the right hand around to the left hip. Left hand comes forward. From here, back knee or back of the heart lifts you up. Front knee stays bent. Release that right arm. Both arms come together. Palms together. Look up. Breathe. So feel yourself in this shape. You know, notice how your body wants to keep working towards perfection, and that's the perfect. It's not that we are perfectly imperfect, but the body starts to move its way towards feeling better. Beautiful. One last breath. Feel yourself in this powerful pose. And then both hands to the floor again, either through a vinyasa or up and into downward facing dog. And then take our left leg forward. Inhale, we'll come up through a lunge. Again, leveling yourself off, getting everything to work for you. Hips hugging in, sacrum, pelvis neutral. Front knee, back heel reaching away from each other. Arms lifting up, heart lifting up and away from the hips. Keep the breath moving, feel the shape. Exhale, we'll bring the hands back down. We'll make our way through pose number 2, warrior 1. Don't you love that? Left arm wraps around, right arm reaches forward. Back foot is anchored, so as you start to lift yourself up, you feel rooted. We'll release that left arm, both palms come together. Upward arms join towards each other, look up. Feel your powerful warrior 1. Excellent, one last breath up here. And then slowly making your way back down. Both hands touch the floor. Moving through vinyasa, that's still working for you. Downward facing dog. Let's do 2 more breaths. Then inhale, lift up your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, make your way back to the front of the mat. Fold forward. Bend your knees, sweep up, Utkatasana. Exhale, Tadasana. Feel your feet connect into the floor. Feel your mountain. Release your hands, open them up. How are you in this moment? What's one word to describe you, other than, of course, amazing? All right, let's move on. So sitting back down again, Utkatasana. Add a twist here, right elbow to left knee. Right elbow lifts up. We look at that right elbow. Keep breathing, sit down maybe a little farther, pull the shins back. Squeeze the outer hips towards each other, lengthen the head away from that tailbone. One last breath here. And then sweep up through Utkatasana. If you need to take a break, of course, lift all the way up. Nice big inhale here, and we'll come back down to the second side. Left elbow is up in the air, we're looking at it, the hips are level. leveling off, so we try not to swing the hips to the left or right. We lengthen. Sit the shins back a little more. One last breath here, and then sweep up Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Hands to the shins, lengthen. Hands to the floor, make your way through a vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Take that left leg, lift it all the way up and back behind us. And we'll sweep it forward towards the left thumb as we make our way up now into warrior two. Pull your legs towards each other. Feel that containment. And then notice that with that, sinking here feels safer. So you see in the front leg here, I'm trying to create a right angle, not a half right angle, but a full, and it's a challenge. But I'm up for the challenge this morning. Pull the legs towards each other a little bit more. Feel that glute muscle tucking under on the left side. We'll drop the right hand and make our way up into our exalted warrior. Inhale, let's start to straighten that front leg. Reach the right fingers or the left fingers away from the left toes. Inhale all the way up and over, coming into triangle pose. And feel again, the left buttock tuck under a little bit. Feel the right shoulder lean back. Open that chest up towards that hand in the air. For those that want to come into half moon here, we're all set. Left hand comes down, right arm lifts up. That worked very well. I'm glad I had a wall here. Now, if you want to come into Chakrasana, bend that top knee, grab hold of it with your right hand, and press the foot away from you. Keep that heart lifted up towards the sky. Ears drop back. One last breath here. And then slowly, let's release that leg again, trying to nice and slowly reach it back. Bend that front knee as we slide the left hand back. We'll slide the right foot back down. Make our way back up into warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Spin it. Let's turn the heels in. And let's come into goddess. Press the palms away, lift the heart a little bit. Feel the side ribs draw back. Feel the inner thighs moving out towards the knees. And then that feeling moving out through the center of the feet. All one movement as the tailbone reaches down. Inhale, stretch everything straight. We'll spin the heels out and fold. And just start to bend into the inner groin. So bend the right knee over the right foot. Pull the left foot back towards you. Inhale up. And to the second side. Inhale up. First side again. And if you want this time, you can start to release the hands off the floor. Legs really drawing towards each other. And then switching nice and slowly to the other side. Of course, your hands can come down if you need them to. Pulling the legs towards each other. Beautiful. Coming back through center, we're going to walk ourselves back to the front of the mat. Downward facing dog. Vinyasa if you want it. Right leg is going to come forward, or up I guess first, and then forward. And right away, warrior two. Look over your front our fingers. Settle into this pose for an extra breath or two. Just be here. Beautiful. Drop the back hand, we'll come through our exalted warrior. Just keep stretching that front leg straight. Reaching the fingers and the toes away from one another. And take all that length with you as we come up and over, coming through our triangle pose. Reaching the bottom ribs well forward. Really anchor down to that back leg. See if that helps you reach the bottom ribs more forward. Make sure the back of the front knee is not locked, so press the shin away from you, forward maybe. Now let's look down, we'll move ourselves into half moon pose, where you can either stay here, just as is, or you can come into Chapasana, grabbing hold of that foot and pressing it away. Standing leg is not locked here, it's a little bend in it. The ears are drawn back, the heart is lifted. So if we're coming out of this pose, we release nice and easy, no boinging effect. Bend that front knee as the right hand comes back, that left leg comes down. Inhale all the way back up through your warrior two. Straighten that front leg, we're back into a five-pointed star. Let's take the hands out, interlace them behind the back. Loop the shoulders, feel the hands draw down the back. We're going to come into a wide angle forward fold. Pull the legs towards each other, feel the inner thighs first spit back behind you. Lengthening the crown of the head forward. Keep pulling the legs towards each other as you now lift the sit bones up, letting the back of the neck get long. Keep pulling the legs towards each other as you lift the arms up over the head. Feel the biceps roll away from the roll towards the triceps. Roll away from each other. Breathe. Beautiful. One last breath here. And then again, we're going to release the hands down. Inhale, we'll come up into a flat back. Bend into the right knee, drawing the left foot towards you. You can hold here, or we can start to roll that foot up, and maybe even lift the arms up. Hold here for 5. 4, pull the legs towards each other, and again, if you can, lift the hips up about 2 inches. Ah! Excellent, hands come down. Come back, take a moment. Nice big inhale. And a big exhale through the mouth. Spin the left toes a little out, pull that front leg towards you, and either stay like this, or just keep going. Lift up a little bit if you can. Pull the legs towards each other, heart staying lifted, we're breathing. Excellent, and then hands come back down, and we come back through our forward fold. Beautiful. Okay, lengthen into your flat back again. Start to bring your body over towards that right thigh and just fold. Draw that left hip up and back. Beautiful. Come back through center, lengthen. And move to the other leg, fold. Belly coming onto that thigh, the opposite hip lifts up and back. Beautiful. Come back through center, lengthen flat back, and just start to walk yourself forward into this very long and weird downward facing dog. And press the floor away from you, then mount the heart. Okay, so we're gonna walk our right foot in and our left. And then our left and our right come back out. Try not to move and then left leg comes in or right. Right and left. And then both legs come in. And we're gonna just start to walk ourselves over towards the right. We're off our mats. Well, we're off our mats anyhow, aren't we? And then walk ourselves back. Through center, to the left. And back. And then just start to walk yourself back. Back to the front of the mat. And step forward. Fold. Take a nice big inhale. And a big exhale through the mouth. Fold it. Gonna bend our knees again. Come up through Uttanasana. Press into the left leg and start to lift that right leg up as we draw that right knee into the chest. Okay, so yeah, we wobble sometimes. That's half the fun, right? It's knowing that there are times where we just are gonna fall down. And that's okay. So as you draw that right knee in, spit both inner thighs out. And then we're gonna see if we can hold this leg up without our hands. So really just come into the pose completely. So seeing yourself in your body, in this pose, and then figuring out, is there a way I can do this without the hands and without that foot moving at all? Beautiful. If you want, you can start to bend that left knee and then press into the heel to lift that leg back up. Again, exhale and inhale. Woo. This time as we exhale, maybe take that right foot over and have a seat. Hold here. Or start to reach those arms up. Upward arms reaching up towards the hands, away from the tailbone. Pull that left shin bone back. Inhale, press into the left heel again, lift that right leg up. And let's take that leg all the way back behind us through Warrior 3. And then bend that knee, tap the right foot down, come up through a lunge. Exhale, let's take that right elbow, left knee. Look up. Look down towards the floor. Now there are many ways you can do this. You can do this with your hands forward. Step that back leg forward, or you can try to fly yourself there. So rolling off the back toes, head comes forward. Back leg lifts up. Knees come together. Feet come together. Inhale, we're in a Uttanasana. We're going to come up into a regular Uttanasana. And then fold forward. Just taking a break for a second. Here, if you want to turn your hands to face back and then bend the elbows, it's a nice stretch for the wrists. Let the head be heavy. Bend your knees again, coming back up. Uttanasana, we're going to press into the right leg a lot and start to lift that left knee up. Grab hold of the legs. Hug it in. Inner right thigh, actually both thighs spit back a little bit. Standing leg is soft. And then we try to do this. So we set ourselves up. We really feel what we're doing in this pose. And we see how the leg is being held up without the hands, which is a lot of hip flexor work. And we just amp it as we bring our hands to our hearts. As we pull our right shin back, maybe we bend that right knee. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, bend again. Pull the shin back. Lift back up. If you want to try it with the foot over, last time we'll come into Galavasana. And reach those arms up. Pull the shin back a little bit more. Breathe. Wobble a little bit. Try to draw both hips back equally. That may take some of the wobble out. And then inhale, come all the way back up, taking that left knee with you. Oops. And then sweep that leg all the way back as you come through your warrior three. Lengthen the inner heel away from the crown of the head. Trying to roll the right buttocks, sorry, the left hips to drop that looking down towards the floor. Now start to bend that right knee. Tap the left foot down, you're in a high lunge. And then left hand is going to come to the outside. So you can rest your hand on your knee. That's going to give you a little bit more stability. Bringing that hand towards the outside, coming into that one last prayer lunge. Lengthen from inner left heel through the crown of the head. Breathe. And then again, you can come out of this any way that makes sense to you. I like to fly. So I reach the head forward, the leg lifts up. The knees come together, the hips are hugging, the feet come together. I'm in Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep up. And all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Beautiful. Let the back of the neck be long. Let's take our hands again back. If you want this time for a different stretch, you can take your hands right underneath your feet. Big toe presses into the watch band. And then bend your knees a little bit and bend the elbows back as you draw them away from each other. Shoulders up the back. Breathe. Beautiful. And then you can release that. Plant the hands, step yourself back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into plank. And then lower all the way down. Take a moment resting on a cheek. Okay, so we're going to come into a little bit of back bending here. So either you can keep your hands again just on your sacrum, or this time you can interlace them. Start your elbows bent. And then feel the shoulders roll into the shoulder girdle and then start to straighten the arms. And you'll notice as the fingers draw back, the heart wants to reach forward. Sides of the waist hug in. And you can come into this down locust pose. You can lift your feet up here if you want. Or you can keep your feet pressing into the floor, pelvis pressing into the floor, reaching the heart away from those two grounding spots. Keep breathing here. Beautiful. So just slowly release back down. Rest on your opposite cheek. So slide the left arm forward. Right hand out to the side and just roll yourself over onto your left side. Let's take that right knee and draw it in. And hold on to the behind the back of the knee. Even in this pose, if you feel a little tired, imagine just lengthen from that left inner heel all the way up to the crown of the head. And notice how the whole body kind of luxuriously makes its way into a longer position. I think it's even more exciting when you are a little tired that you feel it a little bit more. All right, so let's take that leg up. You can just reach that foot up. Turn the heel a little forward, toes back towards you. You can hold on anywhere else. So we're going to bend our knee again. Hold on to the top of the foot. Drop both knees together. And then here again, we're going to roll onto our bellies. Press the left hand into the floor, feel the pelvis pressing into the floor. Be mindful of what you're feeling. Does it feel like you want to move further? And if it does, then press the foot into the hand, lift the thigh off the floor, pressing the pelvis deeply into the mat. Left hand is also helping lift you up, and reaching the heart towards that hand is a nice option too. Back of the neck long. Beautiful. We're going to release that. Right hand's going to come forward. We're going to roll over onto our right side, taking that left leg up. And hold on behind the knee. Reach out from the inseam of that right leg all the way up and out to the crown of the head. Start to stretch that leg straight, turn the heel to face forward, toes back. Beautiful, bend that knee. Hold on to the top of the foot, knees come together. We'll roll onto our bellies, bending the elbows so the elbows facing up towards the sky. And then here, pressing the pelvis into the floor. If you want to lift that left knee up, heart reaches towards the right hand. Beautiful. One last breath up here. And then release it, release the legs. And you can bend both knees as you rock them a little bit from side to side. I think you know where we're heading. So feel free to do one leg at a time here again. If you want to move into full upward facing bow, you're going to draw both heels in toward your bum as you hold on to both heels, or both feet. Start with your feet together if you can. So they're going to want to splay. If they feel like splaying, the way that I counteract that is I feel my inner thigh splaying so that my sacrum stays level and the work is being done in my legs as opposed to in my back muscles. So I start to press the pelvis into the floor, belly is in, side waist in. As I press my hands into my feet, my heart reaches forward. I'm perched here on my pelvic bones, reaching the heart and the feet away from one another. Inner thighs spinning away from one another too, which is keeping the knees close. Breathe. Can you get comfortable enough that you can feel yourself in this shape breathing? Beautiful. Slowly come back down. Release your hands. Settle. You can maybe rock your feet a little bit from side to side. There's some really good sensations here. Just become one with them. Excellent. Let's do it one more time. Holding on to the feet. And this way, if you're doing one at a time, you can do the other leg now. So if you did this easily, here's another version. You're going to keep the thighs on the floor, and you're going to really activate your feet. So you're pressing the heels away from your heart now, and then just keep pressing the heels away as the heart comes forward. Thighs stay on the floor. This is more like a camel pose. Inner thighs are soft. Inner groin is soft. There's length through the tailbone, length through the back of the head. Couple more breaths here, just noticing yourself in this shape. And then slowly coming back down, nice. And this time as you come down, let your body really expand. How completely can you melt into the floor here? How much can you give of yourself into this state of relaxation? What are you holding back? All right, so we're going to start to slowly make our way back up and into child's pose. But this time we're coming into child's pose with our knees together. So press into the floor, lift yourself up nice and gently. Start to cat yourself back, knees are together. Take your time with this, especially if it's like lots of feels here. And notice, does your head feel like it's too far from the ground? And if it does, pay attention enough to give yourself everything that it needs right now. Feel yourself breathing into your belly, and notice breathing into your belly moves more energy and more sensation into the backside of the body. All right, so we're going to start to slowly roll yourself up, sitting on your heels. Let's take our hands out to the side, just roll our hips over towards the right. So both our right buttock is completely on the floor, the left one not quite yet. But as we take that left foot over, then that hip can come back down. If this bothers the right knee at all, bring that knee forward. Okay, from here, we're gonna take our left hand back behind us and reach our right arm up. And feel as you plant down through the sits bones, that the heart, the sides of the waist, the heart, even the gaze begin to look up. Almost feel that stretch from right hand to left. As we start to spin the right arm open, so as if you're turning a door handle counterclockwise, open that left shoulder up to the back wall. Take your right hand, either wrap it to the outside of the leg or wrap it all together. Use the back hand to sit you up even taller. Really plant down through that left big toe mound. Lifting that left knee up. And then start your spin, but have your spin coming more from your belly button than your right hip. Look over the back shoulder. Nod yes. Bring your chin back to neutral. Look over your front shoulder, then back over your back shoulder. Then over your front shoulder again and nod yes. Okay, now sit up nice and tall. This one freaks everybody out, but just follow. I'm gonna take the left hand now to the outside of the right leg. So right hand comes behind. Give yourself a nice little open twist. Okay, now we're gonna place our hands on the floor beside us. We're gonna come up onto our tiptoes and just walk your hands back behind you, spinning on the big toe mounds until you come and sit in the other direction. Such fun, I know. Now, if this knee bothers you, stretch it forward again. If it bothers you or you start to feel that you can't get that right sit bone down, that's two reasons why you wanna bring that left leg forward. Excuse me. Right hand presses down, left arm lifts up. We reach, reach, reach. Feel here everything that's on the floor helping you lengthen. And then begin your spirals. If the right hand is opening up a door. And then take that elbow. Did I say right hand? I meant top hand. Take that elbow to the outside of the right knee or wrap the hand around. Back hand helps sit you up even taller. Helps prop down that right big toe mountain even more so. Now look over our back shoulder. Not yes. Come back to neutral, look over the front shoulder. Not yes. And then lift the head, look over the back shoulder. And the front shoulder. Back again. And front again, beautiful. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's take that right hand, wrap it around to the outside of the right leg and lengthen again. A big twist here, open twist. And then we plant our hands down. We lift up. We just walk our hands back, kind of spinning on our feet. They do most of the work here. And we sit back down. Let's come into cow head pose. Holding onto your feet, just pull the left foot back a little bit, pull the right foot a little forward. You'll feel those hips activating immensely. Sit up as tall as you can. Can you feel yourself connecting to the four corners of your sit bone, not just the front corner, and also into that tailbone that's rooting into the floor and lengthening the crown of the head up a little bit more. Beautiful. From this length, let's just start to reach the heart a little forward. You can pull on the legs a little bit for more hip activation. Beautiful. Inhale, come back up. So you can either switch legs or you can try this again, getting yourself used to these spinny moves, which are just fun. And we're now on the second side. Holding onto your feet, sitting up tall. Notice that as you hold onto the feet, you get more access into those hips. And then as we reach the heart forward, even more interesting stuff, especially as you steer. Excellent, come on back up. One last move, take the hands back behind you, shake out the legs, and just spread them wide as we fold forward one last time into this little forward fold. And just see how the legs feel right now. Excellent, and then we can come up, bring the legs together, and start to make your way all the way down to the floor. As you move into your Shavasana. And again, as you settle here, your body is just dropping all the energy that you've created, you're letting go of. You can feel as you exhale this energy funneling out to the backside of the body. Release all the muscles of the face. Shoulders relaxed. Hips drop, the legs down. Today's daily Om is called Know Your Food. The food we eat is a multi-dimensional aspect of our lives. Food provides us with the energy that enables us to grow and prosper. Yet it can be as frequently is much, much more. Our food can be an experience in and of itself if we allow it to be. The dishes we remember from childhood offer unmatched comfort. The act of preparing meals can be an art form of the highest caliber. And the nourishment we derive from this fare promotes wellness within us. But many of us, distracted by daily affairs, forget that the profound pleasures of eating go well beyond simple sustenance. We eat foods that are convenient, or we eat unconsciously, snacking on whatever happens to be on hand. To understand the true value of food and the impact it can have on our lives, we should acknowledge and honor it by eating close to the earth. If you've ever shelled and eaten garden-grown peas or bitten into a sun-warmed apple freshly plucked from its tree, you'll likely understand that there is a marked difference between these foods and those that are processed and stacked on a supermarket shelf. Food recently picked contains more of its original life force and thus has a greater store of energy and nutrients. You can ensure you are eating close to the earth and enjoying the many benefits of doing so by shopping at local farmers markets and getting to know the individuals who grow your food. If you make the experience of shopping in this way enjoyable, you may be more apt to reject more convenient canned, packaged, and frozen foods in favor of the real delight you feel while browsing stalls of fresh foods nourished by the same soil you can find in your own backyard. You will soon learn what foods are in season in your area and how to prepare them. As you savor the vivid flavors of juicy ripe fruits and the hearty crunch of unprocessed vegetables, you can also take pleasure in the fact that by eating close to the earth, you're supporting farmers in your region, connecting with your local ecosystem, discouraging those who would waste precious fossil fuels by carting products cross-country, and helping to preserve healthy culinary traditions that have existed for centuries. So you can begin to deepen your breath. And as the energy starts to move through you, down through your arms and your legs, encourage the movement by wiggling your fingers and your toes, stretching, yawning. Best part of the practice, enjoy it. Luxuriate here, stretching any way that feels really nice, and maybe even taking an extra moment there for yourself just because it does feel so good. And when you're finished moving in all these directions, feel free to roll yourself over onto your side and just settle in for a moment, kind of just reaping in the benefits of the practice in this shape without having to do anything but be. And here, just noticing all these lovely sensations. Thank yourself for providing yourself with such lovely sensations. When you're ready, you can make your way up to seated, nice and tall. Bring our hands to our heart up into our hands. Take a moment off in this state of openness, in this state of feeling really nice. Just take a moment to recognize how lucky you are to have this time for yourself, to really focus on yourself today in this moment. Sending this love, this, act of gratitude around this community of ours that also provided some support. And then we'll end the practice sealing in all of this wonderfulness with the sound of one Om. Taking a nice big inhale. Big exhale through the mouth. Inhaling. Feeling that reverberation root you down a little bit more. As a reminder that our thoughts should always be filtered through our heads, or bring our hands to our head and back to our hearts where they belong. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Great day.